back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mina and today's video is going to be me reading the Off-Campus series. I'm only going to be reading these two books in this video because I don't know if I'm going to like it, but the first two books are The Deal and The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, and I have heard nothing but mixed reviews about this series, but mostly everybody loves it and everybody has nothing but positive things to say about it. I've never read anything by Elle Kennedy before, and this has been on my radar for a very long while now at this point, and I just never picked it up because I was waiting for the right time. And what better time to read this than right before the show comes out? So if you do not know, this series is being adapted into a TV show, which is done by Amazon, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There's a cat here in my lashes. Of course there is. I've seen some clips here and there about it. I don't know how I feel about it yet just because I've never read the series, so I don't think I can make a judgment just yet about how I feel about it. So I've been quiet. I've not allowed myself to have any thoughts about the videos that I've seen because I've never read the series, so I feel like maybe it is what it looks like, so I've just let it be. But for now, I felt like it might be time for me to pick this up so I can watch the show. This gives me a chance to actually know if I like the series or not, because one book is like, could be a fluke, but two books I feel like is data, so I'm going to use that to my advantage, and hopefully it goes by okay. I am going to probably speak about my thoughts about the show and about the books after I read the books, after I read these two. So in the end of this video, we'll probably discuss how I feel about it and if I'm excited for the show or not. I'll keep my thoughts for that till the end. So we're gonna get started, and I'm starting with The Deal first, and I'm very excited, and I hope it doesn't let me down. I started with The Deal today, which is the first book in the series. Like I said, I got pretty far in, not as far as I would have liked. I'm on page 168, so chapter 19. I don't even know, I think this might be like 30-40% into the book. I have like 200 pages more left of this book, which I think should be easy enough for me to read and finish tomorrow, honestly, because if there's anything that I really enjoy, it's a friendship between the two characters that are supposed to be the two love interests. This book follows Hannah and Garrett, and Hannah is this girl who is like a music major and she's in college, and she just had something really horrendous happen to her and she's recovered from it, and so she's like really intelligent, and she's in this ethics class that she aces. And Garrett is a hockey player, and he is like one of the most well-known hockey players on campus. Everybody loves him. He's like the it boy on campus, the it boy in the hockey team. He's the captain. He lives in an off-campus house, which is why I think this is called the Off-Campus series. I think it's probably going to follow the Off-Campus house boys. They meet because Garrett needs to have a C+ average to be able to play hockey, and his dad is like this hockey guy, this hockey like legend basically, and he cannot miss a game, and also because he really loves the sport. And so he decides to seek out Hannah to try to get some tutoring. And in the beginning, Hannah's like, absolutely not, this is not happening. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't come near me. I'm one of the only girls on campus who does not like you. And he's like, hey, I know you like this guy, so I'll help you get him. I'll help you make him like interested in you, because he only likes girls with status, and if you hang out with me, you're gonna have status. He's gonna be like, why is she hanging out with this guy, and why have I never seen her before? And so they basically form a deal hence the name, of him helping her get the guy and her helping him get the passing grade in the ethics class. I think what I'm really enjoying about this book is the fact that it starts in a friendship Like there's a really good friendship between Garrett and Hannah, and like they hang out, they watch shows together, they eat together, they go to parties together, even when there's like stuff happening between them, because we did get a first kiss between them. It didn't feel rushed. It felt very generic to the story. It felt like it was genuine. It felt like it happened from a place where it was like, okay, I could see this happening in real life. And I think I really, really like that about this. I really love how they just talk to each other like they're regular human beings. I feel like sometimes when I'm reading a romance book, it just feels like no man is ever going to talk like this to you in real life. It feels a little bit unrealistic and it kind of takes me out of the book. But with this one, I feel like it's so realistic. It feels real. And I also really like Garrett because I feel like he's very authentic to who he is. He does not sugarcoat who he is. He doesn't try to play a person that he's not. He's very honest with his thoughts from the very beginning. He doesn't lead women on. He basically tells them from the beginning, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I don't do relationships. Please don't fall in love with me. And he doesn't change his mind. He doesn't give them reasons to believe that he's looking for a relationship. So I just feel like it's very, like, I love that he knows who he is. And he doesn't really try to sugarcoat it. And I think I really love the fact that they talk to each other. They have a life outside of the romance going on between them. There is a lot of tension, don't get me wrong. There's so much tension between the two of them. But I think it plays out in the fact that they're friends first before they get together. And I think it really will strengthen their relationship once they actually do end up together. I love me a romance with depth, and this feels very much that. So I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm really going to enjoy this book, and I think it's going to be highly rated. I do understand the hype around it. It's a little later in the day. It's 4:37 p.m. I just got home from work. I'm officially like 10 pages away from the end. The acknowledgements are on page 388. Where am I? On page 368. So I have like 20 pages left of this book. Are these acknowledgements? Oh my god, no, hold on. I did this earlier too. The second book has a thing in the end of the book. So really the book ends on 374 and I'm on 368. So I have like 7 pages. I'm on the epilogue. I'll just tell you my thoughts real quick before I start getting back into it. If you can hear my laptop taking off into space, it is. That's because it is. I'm exporting the video for next week right now. And so it sounds like it's committing something. I don't know. I love Garrett so much. Also, this book is the perfect, like, encompassing of a rom-com. What I think rom-com, this is exactly what I'm thinking. Like, the dad at some point comes and does something. If you've read it, then you know, like, towards the end where the third act breakup situation is happening, the way that it happens is so rom-com coded. I was like, wait a minute. I love it when a trope has that happen in it. I know it's like, just talk to the guy, you know, he has an option and a say in what's going on. But like, I love reading it when it happens because I just love the angst that comes with it. She's like trying to like yell at him and he's just having the best time of his life. He's like, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. Do not help me. And he's calling her baby. I eat it up every time. I eat it up every time. So I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna finish this book. I have a Waterloo because it's 80 degrees outside and I'm dying. And this is ice cold from the fridge. Like, it's gonna save my life. Let's crack one open, shall we? Yep, that's the sound I like to hear. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna finish it and give you my rating. And then we're gonna talk about the next book. I don't even know who the next book follows. I don't even know that I wanna know. The next book is Logan's book. Okay, good, because that dude was stressing me out this entire book. Oh my god, was he stressing me out. Because he's... If you know, you know. I can't even spoil it for you. I finished with The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Really love the friendship aspect of this book. I love how the two main characters got to know each other before anything romantic happened between them. The friendship felt very genuine. It felt very real. The people felt very real. Like, sometimes, as I've said, when I read a book, I'm like... There's no way a man in real life would sound like this. But with this one, I genuinely felt like Garrett was a real person. And I felt like I could understand where they were coming from. And I could understand why their relationship took the route that it took. I loved the idea behind it. I don't think I've ever read a book where the girl had gone through whatever our main character went through in this book. And then that's how she met the person that she ends up with. And it's... Please read the trigger warnings. Please, please read the trigger warnings, because this can be very, very triggering to some people, I'm sure. But I really, really enjoyed it. 5 stars. I definitely see what the hype is about. I have thoughts concerning the TV adaptation of this book, but I will speak about it in the end, because that's what this video is about. So 5 stars, really enjoyed it, definitely recommend it. I honestly understand what the hype is about. If I had read this one like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I think this would be one of my favorite books. On to the next book, which is going to be The Mistake, which is Logan's story, and who is with him? Who is with him? Grace Ivers? Couldn't tell you. So this is a 5-book series. There's The Score, The Goal, and The Legacy after this one. I don't know if I'm going to continue with them. Honestly, right now it's seeming like I probably would, because I really, really enjoyed the first one. And if I enjoy the second one and it's going to be like a very highly rated book as well, then I think I probably would continue on with the rest of them, because I probably will get attached to the rest of the characters, obviously. This book is 307 pages. So this is going to be so much easier to finish than the other one, because this is a lot smaller. By like almost 60 pages. But I'm really, really excited. I really like Logan because of what he goes through in the first book, and I understand why he was so heavily involved in the first book, if his book was going to be the second book in the series. I'm very, very excited. I don't think I'm going to be starting this today, because I obviously read like 150, 160, 170 pages of this book today, and I'm pretty much read out. And also, I would like to just take some time and just relax for a bit, because every day I've come home and I've ran, and so I didn't have time to like just sit and do nothing. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and probably, you know, upload my video, take care of like the stuff that I need to take care of. Oh, I also have to make a video live in about 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm probably going to start this tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm probably going to finish this one in 2 days as well, if not like a day and a half. you guys want? Do you want a Barnes & Noble haul first, or do you want my update on the book? I feel like we should do the Barnes & Noble haul. So I wasn't planning on going today. I went with the thought process of buying 3 very specific books. Actually, 2 specific books. I ended up leaving with 2 books, but not the same books that I was thinking about. So these are the books that I wanted to buy when I walked out of that store. Behind the painting, I couldn't find anywhere. So unfortunately, that's not in this haul. But I did end up purchasing The Stranger by Albert Camus. I kind of want to do a video about because everybody and their mother talks about this, and I have The Fall of... Is it The Fall of Icarus? No, The Myth of Sisyphus, which is the first Albert Camus book I ever bought. Still haven't read it, but I also decided to buy this one because this one is like, I feel like the most well-known work of this very author. I know it's a classic, that's all I know about it. It was first published in English in 1946, had a profound impact on millions of American readers through this story of an ordinary man who unwittingly gets drawn into a senseless murder on a sun-drenched Algerian beach. Wow, this is giving Crime and Punishment vibes. I feel like I'm really gonna like that. It's very little. It's 123 pages, but I feel like this is gonna be a very different 123 pages versus a regular romance, typical fiction novel, 123 pages. So I was thinking about reading this book over the course of a week to see if I can understand it. I've never read a French, say it with me, classic. I've read Russian, I've read English. I think that's pretty much where it ends for me. I could do a video of this one. Let me know if you're interested in that. Because I was going to also do a video for The Myth of Sisyphus. And that was the first book that I was going to read. But I felt like it might be better for me to go into this one first. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. But this was a success. I did end up getting this one. The third book that I just got... I was not planning on buying this, guys. And I was not... listen, if I was going to buy a copy of this book, it was going to be the movie tie-in edition. I don't care about the actual physical cover that usually... looks like this. I saw it next to this one and I physically chose this one because I just love Ryan Gosling. Surprise to me, at 30, almost 30 years old, I've decided that I have a crush on Ryan Gosling because he's just so charming. He's so funny. He's so intelligent, so well-spoken. And I feel like every time I've seen him, I've learned something more I like about him. And also he was in La La Land. So like, that's all I need to be sold about it for. But anyways, yeah, I have Project Hail Mary because I did go see the movie on the very week that it came out and I loved it so incredibly much. So I thought I might as well read the book because I did have a stint with science fiction, like very early into my reading career. I was obsessed with scientific fiction and then I stopped reading that. So I feel like this is a good segue back into it because I've watched the movie so I understand a little bit of the science. Unfortunately, it is ripped right down here. I don't know if you could see, but right down here. So I don't understand what happened there, but I think I'm gonna go. I wish the girl who checked me out had seen it. I usually check my books. I don't know what was wrong with me this time. I didn't check my books before I left. This one is also a little bit damaged, but it's fine. It's not like really bad. It's only on the spine, but this one is really, really bad. And so I don't know if you can possibly take it back and be like, hey girl, I didn't see this, but when I bought it, it looked like this. So can I exchange it for a different copy? I don't know. I'm gonna try, and if not, then not. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go back to check in the books that I buy because I don't know why I didn't check it this time. Anyways, shall we talk about this one? I'm on page... Guys, I'm flying through this book, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I was not planning on finishing it so fast, and yet here I am on page 199 out of like 280 something, right? It's like 280. I have less than 100 pages left of this book. That's crazy. Okay, it's like out of 307, I'm on 198, 199. I have 100 pages left. I really don't want to finish this book so fast, and yet it flies by when I read it. And like, I just don't understand what's happening. I was gonna read it in Barnes & Noble, like sit in the cafe and read for a little bit, but I wasted half my time looking for the book that I didn't end up finding. So it just ended up being that I didn't end up reading this one, which is fine because I absolutely will be able to finish it tomorrow. So this follows the story of Logan, who is in the first book, who is in love with Garrett's girlfriend, and Hannah from the first book. He's in love with her and he cannot get over her, and he's just like in the trenches thinking about her all the time. He can't get her off his mind. All he wants is to be with her, and he absolutely loves Garrett and he doesn't want to break Garrett's heart, so he doesn't go after her, obviously, because that's his bestie's girl. He meets Grace, this girl who is very inexperienced,
hasn't really done much with men, and she's a freshman in college, and they meet. They have this little hookup situation, and he breaks her heart. And then when she leaves for Paris for like 3 months, and then when she comes back, he's trying to woo her now. And I love it so much. I'm eating it up so quickly. Unfortunately, something about this book, something about this series just seems to fly for me. I don't understand what's happening, because when I pick it up, like when I picked up the first book and when I picked up the second book, I was like, oh, this is probably going to take me like 3-4 days to finish, because I've been reading books very, very slowly. But I picked up this one and I'm just flying through it, 200 pages in, and I had to put it down. I had to force myself to put it down, because I was like, girl, you need to relax. You cannot be reading this quickly. So yeah, I'm going to finish it tomorrow. Which is great, because I'll be able to, do the outro after work and whatever. But I genuinely don't understand. I could sit down like today and finish it again, like in one sitting. That feels so sus, because I've been having such a hard time getting into books, especially with the video before this one where I was reading Weaving Shaw and The Night We Met. I just don't understand. I was having such a hard time reading back then. And then this week is like brand new. I've blinked and suddenly I can read 200 pages in one sitting. Once again, I said it about the first book, I'll say it about this one. The characters feel very real, like realistic to real life. They feel like you could meet somebody like this in real life, and they would talk like this, and they would sound like this, and they would think like this. It doesn't feel like Abby Jimenez, for the lack of a better comparison, because that's the most recent romance book that I've read before these ones. Her books were like, the guy like falls headlessly, hopelessly in love with the girl, and then just like leaves his whole life for the girl. With this one, I feel like it's just a lot more realistic. And I also love Logan, and I love his backstory. I love that Elle Kennedy has given every character in the series so far such a good backstory. Like each one of them has something going on in their life that feels very real for real people. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'll definitely be able to finish it tomorrow. I'm not ready, but it is what it is. What can I do? Cute. Finished. I have finished with The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, and I gave it a 4.5 stars because I didn't enjoy it as much as I did with The Deal. I feel like with The Deal, the story was still new to me, and so everything was like a novelty, and the writing style was a novelty. I will say that I felt about this the same way that I felt about The Deal, except for the fact that the spicy scenes were getting a little repetitive and a little annoying because there's so much of them, and they're just written in a way that I don't vibe with for some reason. I just don't find myself liking them, and I find myself skipping over them. There's a lot less in this one because Grace is not that type of girl who goes out and does that type of stuff, and so when it finally does happen, it's towards the end of the book, like towards the last 100 pages of the book, like the actual thing, because they just like fool around in the beginning. The groveling that I wanted Logan to do wasn't done as much as I would have liked for it to be done. It felt like he did like 2 things out of the bucket list that she gave him, or like the list of things that she wanted him to do, and then we just kind of skipped over it and they were together, and then the third act breakup kind of like was like unrealistic. And I know it's a book, but I feel like the thing that I like about this series, or the thing that I liked about this one specifically, is the fact that it felt very realistic to real life and to things that could happen in real life. And so the third act breakup of this one kind of felt like it was just there to be there, because it's a romance book and there usually has to be some tension in the last
like third of the book, and so it just kind of felt like it was thrown in there, and I felt like it was blown a little bit out of proportion. Because I mean, I get that they're kids, like they're younger than me, so I get that things feel a lot more, well, they're not kids, they're in their 20s, but I do understand that things can feel a lot more dramatic when you're in them versus when you're looking into them and they're not real and whatever. But I just felt like it like got blown so out of proportion that it was like, this is what the third act breakup is going to be about. Like, that's kind of not what I expected, and I expected something a lot different. Even if it was that thing that had happened between them, I wish it would have been handled in a different way, if you understand what I mean. So 4.5 stars, 5 stars. I had so much fun with both of these. Let's talk about the TV show, shall we? I'm gonna put some things on the screen about the stuff that I've seen of this show that's being made and the reason why I picked up this book series to begin with. And let me just say, the things that I've seen about this book show, this show, is not great. I don't understand the casting for the players. I don't know which one of them is Garrett, which one of them is Logan, which one is who, but none of them give the vibe of the men that are in the books. So I'm wondering what happened there. Like, why is it that the castings, also, if y'all are an Emily Henry fan, did y'all see the casting for Gus? Because what is that? What is that? What is that? Why would you do that? That's a whole nother thing on its own. But I feel like the casting directors these days just don't feel like that they're putting the idea of the actual book characters in mind when they're casting for these people. Like, everybody that's in the videos that I've seen of the hockey players of this show have been like, they look like uncles. They don't look like they're in their 20s. They don't look like they could be hockey players. They don't look cute. You know, like, everybody in these books is like thirsting after these hockey players, and for the life of me, I cannot see these people that are in that video being thirsted after by an entire campus. And they don't seem to like mesh well together. I just don't know. So I'm very, very nervous about that. I don't know that, you know, when I see that Amazon is like took the rights for a show or for a movie for a book, I automatically kind of assume, and I know this might be biased to me, but I just automatically assume that it's not going to be done well, and it's going to be done on a budget, which makes me nervous because I think the Carly Fortune books are being done by Amazon, which is such an unfortunate event because I love those books so much. The Carly Fortune books seem to be handled better than this series. So I don't know if they're just doing it to do it, just doing it for the views, which I would get because it is a very popular series. Like I said, I've heard people talk about it left and right over the years that I've been on BookTube and BookTok and whatever. So I do understand why they would want the rights to it, but it's unfortunate that it's being done by Amazon. So that's my thoughts and opinions on that. Let me know down below if you agree. Let me know down below if you don't think that I'm right about my opinion about the players that they've decided to cast for Garrett and Logan, and I assume Dean and Tuck are the last two people in the series. Will I be continuing with the series? Yeah, it's really fun. It's really easy to read. Like I said, it's very hard for me to put them down just because they go by so quickly. There's always something happening, and I love a found family trope, especially like when it's a sports romance. Usually the team is like the found family aspect of it. Thank you so much for being here if you were here all the way till the end. Let me know down below something good that happened to you today or this week. And I hope you have a great day. I will see you whenever I see you with another video. Bye, guys.